What's up? Today is October 21st, 2023. It's 2:48 in the afternoon. Um, I wanted to say first before I get started that I want whoever is watching my videos and not doesn't like when I post videos about my daughter, like to just fuck off. Like honestly, I don't care if you like what I say about anything else. Like if you don't like that I post videos of my daughter and how much I love her, like fuck you and you can like skip yourself on out of here because the last video that I had, I got a dislike and it was for my daughter's video and it's like like that's fucking stupid, like really fucking stupid. Like if you don't like seeing, people happy with their kids for whatever reason because you had a miserable childhood or whatever, like that's on you. But I fucking love my daughter and I'm gonna post videos of her whenever the fuck I feel like. So if you don't like that, like oh well, like goodbye. Cause that pisses me off, like seeing that and I don't know if it's a subscriber I actually had because I coincidentally lost one right after that video. So if it was that person, good riddance to you, bitch. Like fuck off, fuck off, fuck far away off. And anyways, now on to what I was going to make this video about, which is about the transgender movement. I was actually trying to um find a software program that I could use to show videos, how people edit it, showing clips from other videos or even the picture in within the video that I'm recording so that I can further analyze these videos and give evidence as to what I'm talking about because I know I mention a lot about things that I've seen and heard about, but I don't really show the sources of what I'm showing, so I want to start doing that. But I can't figure out like what's the best software, a free one. I mean, later when I could afford to buy one, I'll buy one. But right now, I'm just wanting a free one and can't find one that I can use because I found one, but it's fucking complicated and I've never done like videos like that before. So I really don't know like how to do like all the computer lingo and stuff that it's talking about. I'm completely like, huh? Like I don't know any of that really. So I'm just gonna use the video that I have here on my phone to show whatever I'm talking about because like that's all I can really do at this time. Um so yeah, that's just what I'm gonna do. Cause I had mentioned in the other video that I posted that I saw this video that uh Brittany from A Slightly Twisted Female had posted about a month ago on her page, and I just saw it, and it's a video. It's called not. I don't even want to mention the fucker's name that it's about because I don't want to give them any like all these men, all these boys that are like parading themselves around out there as women. I don't want to give them any like credit to their reputation that they're trying to build. I don't want to call them by whatever names that they're, trying to push into the world as what they are. Like, I'm just gonna call him a disturbed young man because that's what he is. And she was basically showing this interview that he did with some other people where he's talking about how the transgender women have it harder as far as being victims in spaces because they're that's what the Justice Department says or whatever the official narrative is. Even though the official narrative doesn't take into account all the untold stories that are just pushed under the rug and just basically ignored by most mainstream media outlets. Um, they don't pay attention to that. All the instances in this video are actually it was kind of a bit overwhelming to be honest because of all the video news clippets that video and news clippets that were shown by Brittany to basically show how the myth of transgender women not being predators or not being dangerous to women is pretty much a lie. Um, the only thing that I don't that gets me, and to be honest, this is probably because it's not, really looked into by a lot of people except for women that care about this issue. A lot of the sources are from the same journalists, essentially, because they're the only ones reporting on it. And it's sad because that gives room for them to argue for prejudice, or some kind of not other nonsense, like, oh, making up stories or whatever, even though they're legitimate, like, stories that have happened, um where, for example, men are pretending to be transgender so they can get into women's prisons, and they can victimize women in there, and they can get into women's bathroom spaces and victimize women in there. There have been a lot of cases like that already within the past few years alone, since these laws have been enacted, to prove to this deranged, disillusioned individual that he is very wrong in what he is saying. And that's not to say that there's probably some, young men that are actually victimized in spaces like that as well, in men's prisons, for example. But as the woman he was debating mentioned, there probably are a lot of gay men and men of younger or smaller stature that are also victimized. And I mean, it's not probably, that is a fact. That's the way it's been for years. And there are, remedies for those people to get out of dangerous situations like that within those institutions already in place. So transgender women, aka men that want to be women, can also take advantage of these, and go into solitude, if they have to, within the prison system, to stay safe, or within certain places where just people like them are. I know they have pedophiles in their own sections within prisons as well, because of how much they've been attacked in prisons as well. So if they can protect pedophiles, they can fucking protect transgender women, or men pretending to be women. They can protect you as well, if you just, try and speak out and fight for that, instead of trying to fight to get into our spaces and make it easier for deranged, psychotic men that are just going to take advantage of your, identity, your systems of identity, to go ahead and victimize more women, as this video shows. And if you want to see it, um, it's on Brittany's page. It's called A Masterclass in Trans Gaslighting, and it has the name of that person there, but I'm not going to mention it. I refuse to say his fucking name because it's so stupid anyways. I don't even want to say it. But anyways, you're probably going to see it right now anyways, backwards, when I show this, but I don't want to speak it because I want to show you this little montage that she did. I'm just going to show you on my phone because, again, I can't figure out this editing process. But yeah, this is a little montage that she did of these men, and I couldn't, honestly, I couldn't watch the whole thing because I was very disturbed by it. It's very uh it's gross. It's really gross. And honestly, like, if you look at a lot of the eyes of these men, you'll notice that their eyes are psychotic looking. They are not aligned. They're wall-eyed or cross-eyed. Their eyes are dark around the rings a lot, or they just hold so much trauma within their faces and within their eyes. It's it's insane to think that men like this are such a class of individuals that people in our governments are fighting to protect. Like, kids are being trafficked, and probably by a lot of these men also, and victimized by a lot of these men, and treated like cattle in our world in a lot of places. And governments are more concerned with, the rights of men like this, who feel pretty when they put on, bikinis and dresses and makeup and wigs and other stereotypical accessories that they think, women prefer, which is bullshit. Like, not all women even like wearing dresses or just wearing makeup. So this is what makes you a woman is ridiculous, first of all, and then just to see, how they look and their faces, and to claim that, oh, you're being bigoted and you're being, ugly for pointing out their sickness is it's insane. It's baffling to me that this is this is going on right now. Like it's wow. Like I couldn't. I watched. I put the whole thing there, but I had to cut it off like midway because it was sickening to my stomach to see that. Like that's it. These are people that are being paraded as victims in this world right now because they're not comfortable or they hadn't been comfortable and accepted for their weird fetishes and playing dress up. Like, mm, I'm not in the least bit sympathetic towards them at all. Like, I don't care what you call me for pointing out their insanity, their delusional grossness. It's gross. Like, there's no other word to describe it that explains it better. It's just gross. And honestly, like, it's sad because a lot of these men were probably victimized themselves as children. This is probably why they're so fucked up like that, the way they are. They were probably raped as kids, and in turn, turned it into this feeling of, femininity within them that they wanted to bring out. And it's really horrible because that is how trauma works. I mean, if you look at women, who are promiscuous, a lot of them also have a history of sexual abuse. They have histories of being molested and raped, and they, instead of, making themselves feel like victims out of it, they grab onto that and they in turn make themselves like these sexual machines that feel empowered to go out and, be with whoever they want whenever they want. And in reality, that's just damaging to not only your body but your soul in the long run, because that's human beings. We work off of emotion and energy, and within us all, we all just want to be loved. Like, that's regardless of whatever atrocities or sick fantasies that come out within our heads over time as we grow up with the trauma that we've been dealt with in our lives. We all just want to be loved deep down inside. That's what we want. And to see that, these men are out there, trying to manifest that love in a way that just is a direct reflection of their inner trauma, the horrible trauma that they went through, it's disgusting. It's gross. It's not even heartbreaking anymore at that point. Like, even for women that are promiscuous, personally, like, I think that's gross. Like, going out and being, a proud whore or hoe, going out and, like, claiming, oh, all the vast numbers of men you slept with, like it's some kind of brag. Like, that's disgusting to me. It's gross. And it's the same in this sense. Actually, it's not the same. It's even more gross because these men are they look gross. Like, at least the whores look, attractive somewhat. They look, they actually look sexy, even though they're being disgusting. Like, they look, more appealing than these men that just, like, ugh. I mean, they probably, like, think of each other as good because of their own, like, twisted inner makings in their minds that they've unfortunately manifested within their heads. Like, it's sad. It's sad, like, it is. But it's more infuriating at this point to see that just to see that as a reality of what our governments are out there fighting to protect. I mean, now, thankfully, now a lot of governments around the world are starting to backtrack this whole transgender agenda a little bit, at least with the kids. As far as the kids are concerned, they're starting to backtrack, and the surgeries as well. There's a lot of doctors that used to, perform these surgeries that are starting to refuse to do them because they don't want to. It's mostly out of selfishness because they don't want to get in trouble anymore, because they're seeing that a lot of people are starting to get sued for malpractice lawsuits and negligence and whatnot, with all the detransitioners that have been just cut to the curb as, you know, chopped liver, essentially, that just were accidents of the experiment, just casualties of this transgender narrative that they've been trying to push on us, for decades now. Um, so a lot of them are backtracking and saying, oh, I don't want a part of that anymore. The money's not going to be worth it if I lose my license, essentially. So it's having an effect in that sense, which is sad, because you would think that these people, would be more morally inclined to make decisions in a manner that's going to help them, the people, their patients that they're trying to help. But no, it's just all about money. That's just how this world works. It's all about money. Everything is about money. Like, you have to make money so you can live and survive and da da da. So, people aren't really concerned with the ins and outs and the details of things, as long as there's a good amount of money to be made from whatever they're doing, for the most part. Not everybody's like that, but a lot of people are, especially the ones in, the positions of power, like governments, the politicians, the medical establishments and whatnot. It's just sad. It's horrible. And I really hope that people start to speak up more about this, because I know there's starting to be a lot more backlash coming out, and people are starting to voice their opinions, at least a lot more than what they used to. Because before, it was just like, oh, you're she or him. Okay, I'll call you him even though you're she, or I'll call you a she even though you're a him. But people are starting to not do that as much, and that's going to help break the social contagion and the illusion that's been pushed into reality, that men can actually be women and vice versa, um at least on a social level. So, and that's where it's gonna start to have more of an effect and reach eventually the echelons of legislation and government and the medical establishments that are putting out, very biased, very, very ridiculous data that doesn't account for, like, everybody else. Just the few participants in their studies that they asked questions a few years after they got their experiments done on them. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video talking about that a little bit, because I saw that video and it was very disturbing. So